AngrierTravis. Oh, man, what a misunderstanding, huh?
You blew the deal, Cartman. God damn it, give me another chance.
You did what? Oh, no.
Haha, serves you right, asshole.
Because, I really think you could have done it for about $12.50. What? Well, you didn't just start at
$29.99.
Did you? You gotta lowball these things so you have a place to go. Dude.
I'm going down to South Park, gonna have myself a time.
Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptation.
Going down to South Park, gonna leave my woes behind.
South Park Snow Day is an action-adventure game developed by Question and published by THQ Nordic. The story is about exactly what the title suggests, as a huge snowstorm has hit South Park, causing everything in the town to shut down, including the school, allowing the kids to play their favorite game from the Stick of Truth, where Cartman plays as the King Wizard, who battles Kyle and the elves. But this time they are not battling for the Stick of Truth, but they are trying to figure out who caused the big snowstorm to happen to try to stop it so the town can return back to normal. Now, I wasn't sure what to think of this game before it came out because it was a big step away from the gameplay and the graphics of the Stick of Truth and the Fractured But Whole, as the older games, of course, were a more turn-based action RPG, while this game is a more 3D game that plays more like a roguelite hack and slash, which in my opinion doesn't even come close to living up to the previous installments, and almost all of my issues with it have nothing to do with the gameplay or the genre change. I know the game is $30 instead of full price, so they knew they weren't creating a full price experience, but even with that in mind, this game was just so shallow, and so much could have been done to make this type of experience better. You will play it through 5 samey missions, which will take you around 5 hours to complete, in different locations around South Park with different abilities you will require along the way. And on the story itself, the game just kind of lacked the comedy that the other games had. Like, if you are going to make a 5-hour game, then make it the most insane and memorable 5-hour South Park experience that you can, but instead we got a by-the-numbers game that lacked enough substance for me, even at the cheaper price point. It felt like it missed the charm that the other games had. Even the character creation and the customization was super shallow in comparison to the previous games, as the previous games had a ton of customization options throughout your playthrough. But at least they took the time to make sure the ballsack Chen made a comeback.
Oh wow.
It's a proper bear.
I mean, it's like it's like not like medically okay. It like extends from his mouth, you know.
He's just got a lot of saggy skin on his face, okay?
And yes, I know, it's a different game and a different style, so I shouldn't compare them, but the comedy, at bare minimum, should have at least been on point, especially since Trey Parker and Matt Stone led the development, but even that just lacked, with only a few jokes hitting for me throughout the game. Also, I think the premise was kind of lazy. Not the snowstorm idea itself, you could have had some really fun ideas with that, but with the game that the kids decided to play. This is the third game in this series involving the same new kid that you will create at the beginning of each playthrough. The first game was Elves vs. Wizard King Cartman, and then the Fractured But Whole was superheroes, but in this game they reverted back to the game they were playing in Stick of Truth, but with new rules, and I just feel like that missed an opportunity to do something new and fresh with the game the kids are playing outside just gameplay style. They could have done a game with an anime theme, as some of those scenes were my favorite from the Fractured But Whole, and was even one of the few funny scenes in this game when they brought it back up when you first come in contact with Princess Kenny.
Kick your ass.
Oh, it's Princess Kenny.
Kid, take out Princess Kenny. Don't let her kiss you, or you're totally gonna be pussy whipped.
The splash art for Kenny.
They could have even done a game involving Imagination Land, since those are some of my favorite episodes of the show. They could have done almost literally anything, considering the show has 26 seasons worth of content, but instead they just rehashed the same idea from the first game, just with different gameplay, but this time in a snowstorm, and that was very disappointing. There also seem to be minimal to no side missions in the game. You just do the 5 main missions and then you're done. And that was so weird to me, as the previous 2 games had so many side missions and things to do that led you off the beaten path, but in this game you just don't have any of that. Sure, you could take a secret path and find a chest with some toilet paper or some dark matter, and maybe even a goth girl selling you cards, but you will never run into any side quest because on my experience, they just didn't exist. And since there are, like I said, 26 seasons of content from the TV show, I feel like finding content for side activities would be pretty easy, but there are just none here. Where I did have fun in the game was the inclusion of 2 to 4 player co-op. I played with 2 other people and this made the game tolerable for me because playing with friends is always fun. But I feel like if you had to play the game by yourself, the fun factor would have been way lower for me, especially with all the repetition, so I'm happy co-op was included. In terms of the gameplay you will deal with, as I stated before, it is very much a hack and slash game that uses cards you will acquire from the hub world or from Jimmy as you make your way through the missions. You will also select a few cards to go into battle with before the mission even starts, including new ultimate abilities that can vary from laser beams or meteors falling from the sky. In terms of the cards you will purchase from Jimmy, you will purchase these cards to help upgrade things such as increasing your maximum health in the mission and upgrading your melee and your long distance weapon abilities such as with the bow. Now to buy and upgrade these cards, you will pick up toilet paper around missions in chests. These chests are everywhere, so you will always have a decent amount of toilet paper as you walk around. But keep in mind, this toilet paper doesn't carry over from mission to mission, so make sure you use all the toilet paper you can to upgrade your cards and abilities before that mission ends, otherwise you will lose that toilet paper. Now, toilet paper isn't just used as currency by the kids, but also the adults as they try to make it through the snowstorm.
I'm so happy! I found this chest full of toilet paper! Everyone in town is hoarding this stuff! Especially that damn starch! It's worth more than money! I'm rich! I'm richer than starch!
New kid, let's find out where Kyle's hiding.
Yeah, Kyle, yeah. I can show you where he is, but, oh man, I've been stuck here so long, I really gotta go take a shit!
Toilet paper isn't the only thing you collect though, as you also collect containers of black goo known as dark matter. And this is used to upgrade abilities or health at porta potties either in the hub world or during missions where everyone's favorite Christmas poo, Mr. Hanky, holds up shop.
Howdy ho! Hello, new kid, aren't you? It's me, Mr. Hanky. I was gone for a while, but I'm back. And guess what? I brought some Christmas magic with me. You want some? Some of that Christmas magic? I can give you a little taste if you want. Yeah, you want some? Well, go on, take it. Take some Christmas magic.
Even though the game overall wasn't for me, I can say that the gameplay wasn't terrible. Even though it was a little repetitive from mission to mission, I still thought the gameplay was the most solid part of the game, especially as the game goes on you get different weapons and abilities. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't exactly the most fleshed out combat you will ever see, but compared to everything else I took issue with in this game, it was at least tolerable, especially in a team of 3 or 4 friends. Now if you play the game by yourself, that's maybe a little bit iffy and maybe you won't enjoy it as much, but with a team of friends, you will definitely have more fun, at least with the combat aspect of the game. In the end, I thought there was potential in a game like this, but it was executed terribly. The comedy for the most part didn't hit for me, which I think is the bare minimum base for a good South Park game. The story didn't do much for me in general. The complete lack of side content or anything to do outside the main story, just everything was a step back from the previous work, and not by a little bit, but by a wide margin. And that is why I am giving South Park Snow Day a 4 out of 10. Unfortunately, this just feels like a cash grab to me, or something to appease the shareholders, and that isn't something I ever thought I'd say about a South Park game where Trey Parker and Matt Stone led the development, but that's just what it felt like to me. Just something to put out to meet a quota, and that is ultimately disappointing, and I hope that in the future, they could turn it around and get back to making great and hilarious South Park games like they have done in the past. But what did you guys think of South Park Snow Day? Did you like it more or less than I did? Let me know in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.